In last session, we discussed about the registration form, and this is the preview. I think where is this? This is the thing we did, and we did validations also. All error messages are displaying on the top of the page. I mean, we didn't display individual error messages. Just I displayed all the messages on the top of the page by using validation errors method. If you want, you can display individual errors also. For example, if you don't want this, let me keep this into comment here. Just below this input field, you can take a method called form error. To this form error method, we can pass the echo form underscore error is a predefined function. So to this function, we have to pass the name of the input field. This is going to be uname. So what this will do? So here, if you want to display all the error messages on the top of the page, we can go for validation errors. This will collect all the error messages. And if you want to display individual error messages of each and every input field, then we can write this form error message. If you want, you can repeat the same for all the fields, guys. So this is for email. Change the name of the input field as email. And one more is going to be password, right? Okay, let us go to the password as well. This is going to be PWD error in the same manner. CPWD. Right, so for mobile as well. So we are displaying individual error messages of the each and every input field. This is going to be the mobile. This is already be seen in the form validation session. If you have any doubt, you can go on through there also and you can check it. This is going to be gender. That's all, guys. Now you can submit the form. All individual messages will be comes one by one, guys. Because this will be appended with paragraph tag, guys. That's why the some kind of break tag will be appended. Don't worry. Later we will integrate Bootstrap design. By using that design, we can make the error message also very clear. Right now I'm using table for a little bit design purpose. Later we can go for Bootstrap template integration. Then we can apply the Bootstrap process for error messages as well as for the text boxes and everything, guys. But I will show you later in the session. Okay, now validated, and we validated all the form fields. For that, we defined some validation rules. If you have free time, go on to the validation rule reference and you can read all the list of available rules in our CI3. Right. So after that, we collected the data. Whatever the data I collected is this is okay. I mean, this is the best way of getting the data, guys, right? For getting data, we have some other libraries, guys. I mean, to filter the data, let me show you in the official manual. Go to user guide. In user guide, we can see some of the libraries and some of the helpers, guys. There is a concept called security helper. By using this security helper, we can filter the data. There is a method called XSS clean. Or else, if you want, you can get your own methods and libraries also to implement the security. No problem at all in this, right? So there is a helper called security helper. In the security helper, we have a method called XSS clean method. This will stop the cross-site request forgeries, guys. Let me go through the manual. 1 minute. Go to helpers. Here in this security helper, guys, can you see there is a helper called security helper, and you can check this also. XSS clean is a method, right? So this function alias of input of XSS clean. So in input library also we have XSS clean. For more info, see the input library. They are saying that more info, go on to the input library. This is already we are using input library. What is the input class we are using? Do you see? For reading data, we are already using input library. In this input library, there is a method called XSS underscore clean. This of XSS input of XSS underscore clean method is there already. So which is available inside of this library, guys. So I went to library, sorry, helper. Helper suggested me gone through the manual. So for this is the input filtering, security filtering, and XSS filtering. This is very important. And one more thing, did you see? This class is initialized automatically by the system, so there is no need to load it manually. But did you see form validation library was loaded by you? Yes or not, right? Go to the constructor, you loaded the library. But did you load the input library anywhere? No, it was loaded automatically. So we don't need to load it manually. This is how do we know? I went through a manual. The manual is saying that this is automated library and we don't want to follow anything. Input filtering, some of the thing guys. And you see in the config array, allow get array, something they are having. So global XSS filtering. So what is the option here we are having? Can you see guys here? There is an option and please try to read this. Right. Here one important point, global XSS filtering setting deprecated and kept slowly for backward compatibility purposes. XSS escaping should be performed on output, not input. They are saying something guys. Yes, definitely XSS filtering always cross-site request forgeries will always came on output only, not on input fields actually. So we don't want to worry about these things guys here, right? This is how the data will be something like. And how we can get the data accessing the posted data guys. Can you see this data was posted something generally if it is a core PHP, how we can get it guys, data underscore post of the name of the input field, the same will be collected by using this of input of post of something. This is the name of the input field. The same name of the input field we have to pass to the post field. This is what we see in the last sessions, guys. When we are working with the input stream, yes, we can use this PHP input stream, especially when we are working with the services. Definitely, that is going to be work for us, guys. So we don't want to do anything, and just you can make it a post method, guys here. And there is one more option called true. What is the meaning of true? The second optional parameter lets to run the data through XSS filter. It's enabled by the setting second parameter boolean true by setting something here, guys. If you want, you can set it to true. Otherwise, you can make it a normal value. No problem at all, guys. Here. So this is the what exactly the data is going to be filtered, or is the filter way, or else we can write our own methods also, guys, to filter the data. Right. So in core PHP, generally we will use to write strip tags method as well as a trim function. One more add slashes. Such a methods we can use to avoid any kind of miscellaneous characters is there in that. Yes, we can use them simply, guys. That's also possible here. Let me check one thing here. We need to pass the second parameter here. Here we are fetching data, right? So we are not passing second parameter true, right? If we can pass second parameter, what will happen? And let us check this also. Actually not required. If we can pass second parameter true, XSS filter will be applied. What is this XSS filter will be applied when an output? This is inputted data, right? So I think we don't require, guys. If you want, we can use some of the DB escaping concept also. There is a this of DB of escape function will be there. We can use using that method also. We can escape the data. Or else you can write your own core PHP methods also here. So if you want to remove HTML tags, we can simply write a method called strip underscore tags. We can write. So what this method will do? This method will remove the any HTML tags you added, that will be removed. And you can use the trim function also. What is trim function will do? It will remove the empty spaces from the both ends. If you want, you can add slashes also before going to save the data into database. Like this also we can do it. But anyhow, later we will talk about security perfectly. Don't worry. Right now I'm moving in the same fields, guys. I'm not doing anything. But now, whatever the data we collected, this data should be saved into the DB, right? Okay. To save the data into DB, so we have to use query builder class. In query builder class, there is a method called insert method. By using that insert method, we have to insert the data into database, guys. Okay, right. So for that insert method, we have to pass data as an associate, right? But to save this data, do we have any table? I think we don't have any table, right? Let me use a table here for this purpose. Guys, 1 minute, it's better to go with the security, I'm thinking. What do you say? Let me implement the data security. 1 minute, please. Guys, to provide XSS filtering, I just want to pass the second parameter. This will enable XSS filtering, right? Let me enable this. Don't worry. So by enabling this, I mean XSS filter will be enabled on the data. Now we have to save this data into database, guys. Right. For this, I have to prepare an associative array. First, before preparing an associative array, create a table. So go to phpMyAdmin, localhost phpMyAdmin. Go to news. Let me create a table with the name users. Okay, users. What are the number of columns? Can you see? Username, email, password, mobile, gender. 5 columns, guys. One is extra ID we can take, right? So let me create a table with I'm creating 10. Okay, let us see what are the possible columns we can take here. Right. So first one is going to be the ID. Try to give this as an auto increment option. Here we have auto increment. It will becomes automatically primary. This is going to be username varchar of length 250. This is going to be email password maximum 60. Okay, and varchar only. This type is varchar. Maximum 60. You can take 80 or 100 also, no problem, because we are going to use password hash method that will encrypt your password, right? Mobile 20. Here you can go with the gender. Then here I want to generate an unique ID for you. Uni ID something. This uni ID is varchar of length 40 or something. You can use MD5 encryption, so it will be fine. But this uni ID should be unique, guys. Unique means under unique ID, you cannot allow duplicate values. My email column also, I have to make it as unique. Mean there is no duplicate email IDs. One email ID, one account. For the same manner, for every user, one unique ID I want to generate for transaction purposes. When you want to send some data to you or somewhere, right? I want to generate some unique ID for you. That is called unique ID. I want to make one thing called status. By default, your status is inactive. So let me make the status as inactive. Once your account is created, your status will be inactive. Let me make this as a 20. So date of join, date created at, something like created at. I mean, what date your account was created. Let me save this as a date time. This is going to be date and time we are going to save. So as defined, I want to take the current timestamp, guys. If you can take current timestamp, you don't need to insert the data. That will take care automatically. I think these fields are enough, I believe. Everything is okay. If you want, you can create a profile pic also. Profile pic. For example, right now I'm not allowing you. Once you logged in, you want to change your profile pic, right? Then it will be profile pic will be updated. I'm taking varchar here because I want to save the path of you, path of the image only. I will save the image in a folder. That path I will save here. Let me make something called. That's it, guys. This is all the table we are going to save with the table. Yeah, table structure. This is the table structure. Now, what is the data you are having in the form? Username, email, password, and mobile and gender only. Remaining all are not available, right? So you have to, status is defined, created date automatically done. Profile pic right now it is not available. ID is auto incremented. So what I want to do from my form, I have to generate a uni ID for you guys here. Let me create a uni ID, UNNID, uni ID equal to, I have to write my own logic here. Or else you can take this as data equal to, I want to take this as an associative array. Okay, so let's take this as an associative array of key value pair combination. Here remember, the key should be name of the column name, guys. It's very important. What is the name of the column? For example, I want to save username. What is the table column name? And go and check to phpMyAdmin. Table column name, username, right? Exactly, you have to take the same username here. What is the username value? This is the username value. We have to take into associate. Come down and take this as an associate. Like this, we have to prepare the data, guys. One field done. What is the second column we have here? Email. Okay, let's go here. Let me take this as an email column. email. This is going to be email. Okay, name, change the name of it. This is going to be email. Like this, we have to prepare the data as an associative array. Then it will become easy to insert the data. Now you can take this as a password, right? What is the column name? PASSWORD, password, right? This is going to be PWD, right? Table column names, password, mobile, gender. So let me go with the mobile. This is going with the G and the gender. Change the variables, this keys also. This is going to be mobile, right? Mobile. And this is going to be gender, GENDER, gender. Now UniID. So UniID is not generated by you and it is not created by you. So as of now, we didn't enter anything. So in place of UniID, UniQID, just I want to name something like this. Here you have to generate a logic, guys. Small logic I want to generate. You know str underscore shuffle method. What the shuffle method will do? It will shuffle the characters which you are passing inside of it, right? I am taking this current time, guys. Is it okay? Current time dot. I want to take you name. That is the name of you. I want to take mobile. I am combining all the data you entered. Current time, you name, and mobile. And I want to take some characters also like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Something like whatever it may be, I have taken some of the characters. Now what happened? Current time, your name, your mobile number, and some characters. So all the things will be shuffled together. After shuffling, I want to make this as an MD5, guys. Do you see? I'm applying a method called MD5 method. What this MD5 method will do, it will encrypt the data, guys. Simply, it will encrypt the data. What is this exactly? MD5, right? This is going to be MD5. Simply, the data will be encrypted. This is what we have to do. You are shuffling all the string. After shuffling that, you are converting into a hash MD5, or else you can use SHA-1 also. Whatever the algorithm you want, yes, you can use it, no problem. So and now a UniID will be generated for you. Now your data is ready, guys. Whatever the data you are having, now we have to send this data to model. But do we have any model for this data? We don't have any model right now. I'm removing this. This is not required for you right now. One more thing, while you are saving the password in the DB, the password should be encrypted, right? So to encrypt this in core PHP, we have a method password underscore hash is a method. So for this password hash, I'm passing the second parameter as the algorithm password underscore default. There you can see a lot of parameters are coming automatically. So now this is the way of getting data in our CodeIgniter. After that, I'm hashing that password into some unreadable format. Your data is ready, guys. Now this data should be passed to model. What model will do? Model will simply insert the data into database. After inserting the data, we have to send an email notification also to the registered user, right? And let us see how we can insert the data, how we can send the email to the registered user. Okay, right, guys. I think we already discussed a demo on email sending, I believe, right in the early sessions. Okay. The same email library we can copy paste here. We will just change the subject only thing. That things will be what only. Now, do we have any model right now to save this data? We don't have any model. What I need to do? Let me go to my models and I'm going to create a model with the name register model. This is going to be register model, not PHP. Name of the class register model, and we know that every model should extend with the CA underscore model. This is what we have to do. Now, so in this model, do you have any method to insert the data? We don't have any method, right? First, let me load the model here. So go to this register controller, load the model. Where you want to load? Always try to load the models into your constructor. This of load of model. What is the name of the model you created just now? Register model. Register model. This model needs to work with the database, right? Definitely database also should be loaded now. let me load database, guys. This of load of database, because every model needs to work with database. But did you see in the last session I load the model into this database into a model, but right now I'm loading this model into controller. If you can load anything in the controller, remember you are loading the model also into the controller, right? Whatever the model you are loading into the controller, you are loading in the same place, you are loading database also. So automatically this database is available to register model. Again, in register model, we no need to load database because you already loaded into the controller. If you load into a controller, that is not required to load into model, because this model is again calling to the same controller, right? So if it is calling to the same controller, it is not required. Perfect. So now what I need to do, I have to send this data, guys. So let us call the method here, this of register model. In this register model, let us write a function save data. To this save data function, we have to pass the data. That's it. Whatever the data you prepared here, this data we are sending to this function. In register model, do we have save data function? Check this. We don't have any function. Let me create a function, public function save data. Definitely this is having parameter, some data is coming there, right? What this method needs to do, this method needs to insert the data into the table, guys. Can you see, I'm going to write this of db database object will automatically available here. We don't need to load the database again here because you loaded already into controller constructor. If we can load into controller constructor, we no need to load the database into this particular model. Why? Because this model is already loaded into your controller constructor. So whatever you are loading here, this database connection is available for models and libraries also by default. Right. Register model. This of db of, there is a method called insert method, guys. That's it. Insert method, table name. What is the table name? Users. Yes, users. Comma. You have to pass the data. That's it, guys. What it will do, this will insert the data into database. We are not writing insert query. There is a predefined method available in query builder class. This builder class will insert the data into database automatically. We don't want, right? That will build the query behind the scenes automatically, guys. If the record is inserted, how do we know record is inserted or not? There is a method, guys. This of db of affected rows. AFFECTED, affected underscore rows is a predefined method. This method will return true if the record is inserted. I mean, not true actually. This method returns the number of records inserted, number of records updated, number of records deleted. So this affected rows method you have to use in place of, if you are writing insert query or delete query, update query, then this method will tell us how many records inserted, how many records updated, how many records deleted. So if this is okay, I mean, so I'm just writing this equal to 1 exactly, then I'm just writing return true. I mean, record inserted successfully. If this is not done, I just want to make return false, guys. That's it. I don't want to do anything here, return false. Okay, right. So what happened now, we are sending data to model, right? If this inserts the data successfully, what it will return? This method returns true now. Now let us take something called status equal to some variable and take it. So what is the value of this status? If the record inserted, the status value is true. If the record not inserted, status value will becomes false. Let me write a small condition here. If the status equal to true, I mean record inserted, we have to send an email notification. Otherwise, what I need to do, I have to display an error message, guys. Here in the else block, what I want to do, else block, let us display a message by saying that error message. But here, remember carefully, I have to redirect to same page, guys. For redirection, we have a method called redirect method. So you have to redirect to same page with a small temporary message. Let me show you. Generally, I want to write a small message here. Sorry, unable to create an account, something like this. But it's not good thing. Sorry, unable to create an account. This is the message I'm showing you. Try again. After that, what we have to do, we have to display a view also here. For this, what I want to do, guys, here, I'm using a session library. Remember carefully, in a session library, there is a method called temporary data. By using the temporary data, we can create data temporarily and with expiration time. If that expiration time is completed, that will go on automatically. So that temporary data method is available in session library. Let us load the session library also. Here you want to load one more library, guys. So when you are want to load multiple libraries, we have to take this as an array. Na? You can take this as an array. Library 1 comma library. What is the library? Second library, session library. In this library, we have a method called session temporary data. So what I want to do here, whatever the data you have here, this of session. The session library methods are accessed like this. We have a method in this set underscore temp data. There is a method called temporary data. In this temporary data, we have to pass a message and the time 3 seconds. I'm passing expiration time 3 seconds, guys. Here. Now you can take error message. Key is error. Sorry, unable to create an account typing. This is the message I want to display it, guys. After that, immediately we have to redirect it to same page, redirect it to current URL. There is a method, you know, guys, current URL, current, current underscore URL. Do you know current URL? Where is this current URL is available? This URL is available in the URL helper. Do you see in the starting helpers we discussed it? There is a method called redirect also. By using this redirect method, we can redirect to same page. If it's a core PHP, we will let header location. Do you remember header location? But if you can observe my sessions in core PHP, we will create a cookie, persistent cookie with expiration time in place of this. After that, we will let header location to same page. If everything is okay, what we have to do here, we have to write a logic to send an email, guys. Okay, wait for some time. I'm not writing any logic here. That logic we will implement in next session, account activation process and all we will implement in the next session. Here, right now, I want to create a success temporary. This of session of set underscore temp data. Just I'm creating a message, 3 seconds. This is going to be success, guys. Success key, account created successfully. Just I'm going to display account created successfully. Please activate your account. So right now I'm not doing this. We will do when I'm sending an email, guys. Right, this is the thing we can do. After that, I am redirecting to same page. Redirect to current URL. CURRUNT, current URL. So current URL method will return current page URL, right? So this is what happened. Now we have to handle these success messages now. In the view, we have to display this, guys. What we have to do in the view, we have to read the temporary data, guys. Here, just above the page, I'm going to write one condition. Session is already loaded there, right? So the session library we can access here. Now this of session of temp data. There you created, right? Here we are getting the temp data of error. Error is there that we are getting. Just write into the condition if temp data is there and print the temp data, guys. This is what we have to do it. Okay. So if success is there, we can do success also. So take them into a paragraph tag, close paragraph tag. So and write the message here. Temporary data, error will be printed. If you have success, then success should be printed now. Now you can come down. This is going to be the key is going to be the success. And here you can change the key as success. This is the way of handling the forms in our PHP. The only new thing I have added here today is the temporary data in register. So I have created a temp data. This temp data method is available in session library. If you want to work with session library, on the top of the page, you load the session library. Did you see? I didn't load the session library at the very first time. I loaded the session library after the requirement came here. The situation demands us to load the session library to create the temporary. That's why I loaded this session library at the end of it. Here it is demanded me. Actually, guys, tomorrow I will show you here how can we write a logic to send an email to the registered person. After the registered person sending an email, then we can display the success message. So account activation, we have to check it now, right? So let me check up to here whether it is working or not. So now I want to refresh the page, go and refresh the page, registration form. I just refreshing and enter some data, guys. Hello world, email ID 1234567, 1234567. So you can select the gender as well. I'm submitting the form. If everything is okay, can you see I got a message account created successfully? Perfect. if you can refresh after 3 seconds, that message will also hidden automatically because there is a temporary data, right? What is the meaning of temporary? That's not permanent. Okay, no, that's not permanent. That's the meaning of it. You can go and check the database also. Browse this. Can you see the record is inserted? ROM, hello world, mail ID, password, mobile number, mobile. A uni ID is also generated for you. This is the uni ID generated. Your status is inactive, and your current date 11/12/58, guys. This is the date of account creation. You see, guys, how the things are working. So, but in model, did you write any insert query? No, we are not writing. We prepared the data as an associative array. The data we pass to insert method. That will taken care of inserting data. We don't want to make any query here. Like core PHP, we have to insert query. But in this, it is not required for us. Yes? Yeah, guys.